Today I decided that I was going to get rid of my plastic containers for my dry goods and put them in my glass containers. So right now we're going to start with the rice. It's pretty easy. This one I'm using a airtight container. The others I'll be sealing it, and I'll show you how to do that. Using a half-gallon mason jar. My oats. I always like to have this on the shelf for overnight oats. I used to have 5-gallon buckets of the rice and of this and flour. Okay. That's not gonna work. So much easier. We got the oatmeal in here. Have this gadget. You've probably seen it online. And what we're gonna do is seal it. It's with batteries, not powered. Just press it on. Let it suck up all the air. It's done. You'll know it's sealed when you can pick it up. We're gonna do my pancake mix. These are the kind we like. I don't know why I always have to do things the hard way. Oh, and okay, here we go. So I'm going to show you how to do this method with these smaller ones. I have my oats and my pancake. So since this is the regular lid, I have the regular attachment that comes with this. I'm going to hit accessory. Done. And this is where I broke off my piece to my attachment. So, I'm going to put a 300 one in here. this pops, it'll be sealed. Put another one in here. Put this on. Wait for those to be sealed. These are all, and you can tell I have it in here, this pink thing. If it's pink, they're still good. And then I'll have my label maker. And then what I like to do is I'll label, I mean obviously you can tell these are oats, but with these, you won't be able to tell this is flour and this is pancake mix. Flour, I might put it here or on the jar where I can easily see it. And as for pancake, I need my glasses. And there you can see my pancake mix. And I'll put them on each of those. I also decided to put my maseca in the jars because it's going to be a while until I make tamales again. I decided I'm also going to put my dried chilies in here. I also won't be needing these for a while as well, since I won't be making tamales for about a month or two. Now I'm going back over each of the jars I wasn't able to seal. My jar sealer has been charged and now I want to make sure they're all sealed. Those ones in particular I'm rubbing right here. These are the jars I put the oxygen absorbers in. You can see I'm pointing to each of them. So those have been sealed. The other jars, I'm just taking the rings off, making sure I get a good seal on all my jars so I can store them. Now I'm explaining another method, and that's the food saver bag method. Basically, these plastic bags, they come in a roll, like so, and then you would just take how much you would need, and you'd cut it to the size you would need, but you'd want to seal one end first, and then you'd put your dry ingredients in it, and then you'd go ahead and seal the other end. And depending on what machine you have, you just need to press down the lever and it'll seal and cut it for you. So that's one type. And then another type would be the Mylar bags. And this is for really long-term storage, like decades, rice, pasta, flour, that kind of stuff. You'd put, 5-gallon bucket worth of stuff in there, and then you'd make sure you look up how many oxygen absorbers you would need, and you'd seal it up with a flat iron. You'd want to make sure it's a good seal on it so it'll stay, and you want to keep it in a cool, dry, dark place. So that's the other method I was going to show you. And of course, here's a picture of how they turned out in the end.